Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the brick, baby. And we got a doozy of a game for you guys. But before we get into the game, I gotta go over a couple of things, and that is, I've had a rough night. Actually, I've had a rough couple of days. I don't know if you guys saw, I posted a little clip. I kept getting the guys asking me, all the guys that watch like Farm Sim and stuff, asking me to post it, because I told them that I had rage quit on Farm Sim for the first time. And I'll be honest, like, it was real. So if you haven't seen that clip, highly recommend you check it out. Maybe I'll link it down in the description or down in the comment section or something. I don't know. But my God, man. I have not raged that hard on Farm Sim ever. Like, I've had a few frustrating moments here and there, but it's never been to that point. But those trees, I hate those freaking lodgepole pine, or not lodgepole, but the Scotch pines. Anyway. But getting back into Legends, I was going to record the video in the new Pan-Asian Charles Martel, a.k.a. the Wukong, and joined in. Very first game, I had a Z-23 spawn off the front of me, decided to chase a Brandenburg 15 kilometers off to the corner of the map instead of spotting. I immediately get spotted by their destroyer, who's doing his job by moving into the cap, and before I can even get into my smoke screen, I got completely obliterated and rage quit the lobby. Yeah, definitely was a thing. So I decided after that, I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to get in and play a couple of ships that I know. And of course, Vermont is one of those ships. You guys know I love the Vermont. Even if she ain't the best ship in the world, it's still a fun ship. And so I like fun ships. And so we're going to get out here. We're going to try to get some good hits on it. You guys know the build by now. I put it at the beginning of the video for you guys. Not the best build necessarily, but it's a great build. Allows you to have faster reloads, have a lot of heals, all the goods. Extra defensive AAs, extra spotter planes, all the good things, right? But more than that, like, we're going to get into a game, and you'll see that I'm talking the entire time. Believe it or not. I know, it doesn't happen very often. I don't get into chat very often, because it usually doesn't end well if I get into chat. But in this particular match, I got into chat early to say something about the enemy destroyer, who just happened to be one of the people that were on my team 2 matches ago. He was on my team in the Gearing, same ship he's in this one, and he decided to proceed to use the entire match to do as little as possible, and ended up costing us the match, despite the rest of the team doing everything in our power to win, giving the enemy Yamato a solo warrior 1v5. Or 1v6. It was 1v5 or 1v6. Only one person on our team died. But, yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. But after that, I got into chat, and I was like, hey, just so you guys know, hey, enemy Gearing's probably not going to be the best team player for his team, so we should have the advantage right out the gate. And the truth of the matter is, we do have an advantage right out the gate. Also, I don't know how this happens. I apologize, Mr. Airsoft Alphonse, every single time. Every time. It's like the stars are aligned every time that I run into Airsoft. He on the enemy team and he spawns right across from me, and he's the only thing I can really shoot at. So, I apologize, Airsoft. We gotta stop meeting like this, brother. But if you guys don't know Airsoft, he's a fantastic YouTuber, does Airsoft, shocker. But he does like those military-like style Airsoft, you know what I mean? Where they get hundreds of people together, they go out and they do these ridiculous Airsoft things. It's fantastic. His production value is insane. Highly recommend you check him out on YouTube. Airsoft Alphonse, you guys should know him. Also, great dude, plays World of Warships Legends. There you go. I met him through Aaron, and dude's just funny as crap, and we have a lot in common, me and Airsoft, other than the fact that he's just awesome at everything he does, and I'm like the exact opposite. But it is funny when we just keep running into each other out here on the seas. Like, it's got to be that YouTuber life, right? Like that YouTuber schedule. We're both up around the same time of night. We're both recording or just playing around. He obviously doesn't record Legends. He just plays it. But this is his unwind, guys. Imagine that. But no. As we're out here trying to get some videos, and we run into him all the time. And also, can we talk about this defense real quick? This guy is actually got to get a shout out too. This defense, dude is actually paying attention to what's going on around him. He's getting himself into positions that are not necessarily the best for him, but he's going to do everything in his power to do as much as possible. But once again, I'm forced to shoot at Airsoft because there's nothing else to shoot at. Everybody else is hidden. So we take the shot over the top of the island. We got a beautiful look at airsoft. We chunk him again with only 2 pins, unfortunately, but still enough to at least knock on his door, right? But as we start to close back in, like, the alarm bells start to go off, right? Like, we have to go off at some point and try to close the distance on these guys. I can't run away forever. We've got to maintain. We have a 2-cap lead, thankfully. Our destroyers have done their job. We've only lost 1 person. They've lost 1 person. Obviously, they lost their Velos early. He got himself into a pickle and ended up running into teammates that are helping each other. I know it's a crazy concept, folks, but I like to point it out when I see it. Y'all know I'm not the last person to ever criticize teammates, but I'm also not the last person to say when teammates are doing the right things. So anytime I see it, I gotta call it out. We had multiple people shoot the Velos. We had everybody get him out of the game. And like I said, the gearing's not really a threat. That man spent, I'm not joking, and I'm not naming and shaming the guy. I know people were probably going to look it up after the game, so maybe I'll mute his gamer tag or something in the thing afterwards just to make sure. But like, his play style is not conducive to winning for the team, okay? That's all I'm saying. But again, watch this defense. Like, this guy has been watching me like a hawk. Every single time I like take a shot at him, he is doing everything in his power to avoid me. Now, it hasn't worked out in his favor because while he's avoiding me, he's getting smacked by other people on my team, which is a good thing. But that also points out to the fact that our team is doing a good job. Now, here we see the Zhao is over-angled. He's stopped out in front of us. You know he's going to reverse. He's got to try. And as he reverses, after the torpedoes go by, he's dead. There's no pass and go, no collecting 200. This is just straight up death. And yeah, he's done. And that's our first kill of the game, giving us the damage boost as well, because we have the legendary module. Now, defense decides to battle tank me initially, and you can see I'm actually going to lay it on him. You can see our teammate slaps him, and that just triggers something in his brain hole to go, I got to get out here, dump some torpedoes, because I'm going to die. Yeah, you were going to die, Sunshine. There's no doubt about it. You were going to die. But you're also telegraphing exactly what you're going to do. And not just that, you also give me an easy kill, which means that now I have even more damage to dish out per shot, thanks to the legendary module. But notice that I'm not putting out the double fire. I know there are torpedoes away, and if I eat a torpedo and take a flood, it's way worse, right? So I'm just biding my time until I see the torps and know that I'm safe. And meanwhile, we've got the Schlieffen, aka Alphonse, over here. He's trying to get away from me. He knows, like, oh my god, where did this oh, and he gets a Citadel. Alright, Maine. Alright, buddy. Rear turret of justice and truth on the way. Surely, they have never failed me in the past. And they look good. Really? Really? That's alright. That's alright. We're about to have honor and glory loaded, so we'll send another salvo his way shortly. But we almost have the rear turrets again. We wait for the main to take shots at us before we open the angle, and then once we're pretty much safe, and of course he knocks one of my turrets out. Go figure. But we get 3 turrets out there on him, and those look really, really promising, and there's the hit, and of course in true Spartan fashion, gotta leave him with just enough to get away. But it's alright, he goes down. We secure our broadside for the time being. Thankfully, the Vermont that's over here wasn't shooting me. But you'll see Alphonse is now spotted going into the middle. We have another shot over the top of the island. We're going to go ahead and take that shot as well. Again, don't really have anybody else to shoot. Vermont's hiding in the back behind the island, and we absolutely crush Alphonse on that shot. Wasn't the best shot with the rear guns, but the front guns did well. But you can see, because I'm spotted, and you can see I'm like, how am I spotted right now? Obviously, it's the gearing, right? Like, we know the gearing is spotting us, and if you're looking, it's possibly that he's at Charlie, but knowing the player, that's not him. It's probably the battleship trying to capture at Charlie. But we go ahead, line up another shot here on Schlieffen to try to finish him off, but our cruiser that's right there is going to go ahead and sacrifice himself, get the torpedoes away, and send him to the Shadow Realm. Actually, no, he didn't. The Musashi ends up getting the kill right beforehand. But at this point, you can see that the game was tipping in the wrong direction, right? Like, we had the points lead because we captured the bases early, and we've held them up until this point. So, as long as we don't throw all of our health away, we should be able to hold on to the points lead, worst case scenario, right? But we're going to do everything in our power to duel this Vermont 1v1 here. But unfortunately, it's not truly a 1v1. He has teammates that are capable of shooting my broadside right now. Mostly a Colombo and a Giuseppe, right? The Colombo is able to lob the island just enough. And he's going to be a little bit of a problem for us. But this Vermont is going to be the opposite of a problem. But he's going to get some favorable RNG where we're shooting at him and all of our shells are going to hit the armor plates. Now, we shoot up into his guns and his superstructure trying to get some damage. We see the torpedoes coming in, hoping that he's going to take some torps. You can see I'm taking some hits over the top of the island. I'm like, good Lord, man. Who in the world is able to lob that island and hit me? We already knew there was a couple of battleships over there, but, it's kind of crazy that they can lob that island from here. But here you can see us get a nice shot into the superstructure with the front turrets. And this guy, again, has just avoided shooting at us. But look how high I shoot this, and then the rear turrets still just fire straight down into his armor. I ain't gonna lie, that one that one irritated me just a little bit. It's like, I am aiming high. Why are they all hitting the water, or hitting his armor? Like, that's annoying. But at this point, both of us have to get ready for the drive-by. You can see he's pre-aiming his turrets. I'm pre-aiming my turrets. We got to go for the drive-by. I'm trying to get nice and close so that he can't depress and be able to citadel us. And that's exactly what happens. He doesn't end up citadeling us. He does do quite a bit of damage, but we were never trying to ram him. We simply wanted to get close so that he couldn't aim low enough to citadel us. We had less health than he had in that situation, but we were also able to fire all of our guns. I don't think he got all of his guns fired on us. And worse than that for him is that we open up the angle just enough to bait him into shooting the armor belt, and that's unfortunate for him. He does get a fire, however, so we got to put that out. And you can see I am making sure that I aim real high here. We destroy one of his turrets, but you can see it was one of the front guns because the rear guns are still fully capable of looking at us. And it was at this point that I see the Colombo over here trying to shoot me still. Meanwhile, he's got a Musashi crashing down in front of him. Like, you would think that he would be concerned about the Musashi, but he's not. He's more concerned with me, and that's going to cost him his life, because that Musashi is about to send him to the Shadow Realm. Meanwhile, we have not been trolled oh my god. This time it's us that gets left with just enough to get away as we finish off the enemy Vermont and get our heal back just in time to make sure that we manage to survive and do some work just in case. Now, this team, I can't say enough. The Musashi played extremely well. The Smolensk played extremely well. Our team in general played really, really well. We captured bases early. We held that points lead, forcing the enemy into bad positions late in the game. That is what you have to do in World of Warships Legends to get wins, right? Like, a lot of people always ask, like, there's some sort of secret strategy. There's really not. It's play the objectives, get the early points lead, forcing the enemy to come to you, and then you get to have all the advantages. But once again, we get robbed, leaving him with just enough to get away. Musashi gets to finish him off and does so in rapid-fire succession. But yeah, it was a fun game. This was a really, really fun game. 197,000 damage. We get second on the leaderboard with 2,750 XP, and there was another person with almost 2,500 XP. But the Musashi coming in with 3k base, between the three of us managing to take out 8 of the 9 opponents. That's not too shabby. But as you can see, I had to send a GG. I was talking to the Smolensk the entire time, so well done to him. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.